So you guys were I'm hearing a lot of you guys wanted a theme song shortened, so here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Sometimes she plays them. So does that, and when she does it with the cat, does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. So, it's shorter. There you go. Crazy Cat Lady or Martha Butler does not own any trailers or pictures. I use them under fair use, educational, for education and entertainment purpose. So, guys, I just got done watching the creakiest and the spookiest and mysterious show out there. Can you guess what that is? And that is the Addams Family. So I can't snap that loud. I can remember a time I couldn't snap. Period. But this show, Wednesday, the girl who plays Wednesday in this show, which was the girl from Scream 5, Scream, one that, spoilers, we thought was gonna die during the first scene, but she actually lived for the whole entire movie, is on here. And she plays Wednesday. We got Christina Ricci, who played Wednesday in my version, the second generation of Addams Family. Plays a Morticia. That's basically who I know who's on here. Uh, I understand why Christopher Lloyd wouldn't come, and who knows what the original Gomez is doing, because he's probably just as old as Christopher Lloyd, and who knows what the original Wednesday's doing, both. So it's nice to see somebody from the show coming on, from somewhat the past times, coming to be on the show. But I think Christina Ricci did a great job doing Morticia. She was only in 2 episodes as her. It was since this is mostly a Wednesday show. Um, is this sort of their version of Riverdale? And didn't they do a version of Sabrina Teenage Witch? I have not watched any of those shows, so I would not know. I've heard about them, but I never watched any of them. I'm not really interested in watching those shows. Nothing would give me an interest in watching those shows. So, this Riverdale show sounds bad. I don't know what um, is going on with Sabrina Teenage Witch version, but and this is a different group. Really, the one who wrote Adam's Family had nothing to do with those ones, but I had not watched the Monsters one on Netflix either. I don't know if I'm going to. But this one is really good. I liked it. It's not what I thought it was going to be, but I'm totally okay with that. I did not know what I was thinking. My even like person I watched it with, who I thought would hate this, she she loved it because I watched it. I have watched these episodes twice. It's the second time I walked out of the room a couple times. You go into stuff with the person I was watching it with, but she watched most of it with me. What she could pay attention to, but it was great. I liked it. I loved the mystery aspects to it, and how and the spookiest to it, and the fact that it didn't go too far. I mean, I think this is like the best thing that happened to Netflix since um, Stranger Things. I think they just keep on doing stuff like this and not do anything that's too damaging for their image to be fine. I mean, I never watched any of the other stuff. Never watched that stupid that stupid movie about those little girls. But this one looks great. Um, so we're gonna get into spoilers for people who haven't watched it yet. Let's go and watch it first. Then Sam. So I don't know what's the bigger mystery here in this show. The fact is, how many people did Wednesday kill with a piranha incident? Because they don't ever tell us the whole entire story, and I think they do that on purpose to make you think: did she kill them or did she didn't kill them? Because she first stopped saying she failed to get the job done, then she says she killed two of them. It's just like asking the Joker, "Did how did he got his scars?" Kind of a thing. So, and then we also get learn about something to do with Morticia and Gomez, how they may have killed a boy, but it turns out it was Nightshade. And I think the guy who played Gomez, for the little bit we get to see of him, I think he did fine. And it to me, it does make sense for him to be a Spanish man. I don't know the actor's name who plays him, but it makes sense to me because Gomez and Morticia all the time in the old version, because I asked first time I watched this with who has watched the original version. They do say Mogamia Morcher all the time in that version too. So it makes sense that at least one of them would be Spanish. Because how else would they know Spanish unless they learn it from in the book, in a language class? So to me, it makes sense. So I think they're being perfectly loyal to the comics and the original version. So, but and everything else about the so mostly she starts out with like going to a new school that Nevermore, where a bunch of monsters go to school. So it's kind of like Monster High in a way, but I never watched any of that, so I would not be able to compare it good enough to actually say it's 100% like it. So um so they end up she ends up trying to solve a mystery. She finds out there's a monster going there, which is major spoilers, is a Hyde, and she ends up finding out it's the boyfriend that she is dating, and the person that's controlling the Hyde ends up being the librarian. But she thinks that it's the guy who can make art come to life. I don't know what you would even call that. So she thought it was Xavier at first, but it turns out to be Tyler. But the thing is with mysteries and drama stuff, it's never the first person you think. Even Scooby Doo knows that you don't go with your first thought. You go with usually the second or third or the last person you expect. But it wouldn't be a good show if the person who's watching the person who's trying to solve this mystery makes mistakes. And I think Wednesday actually is not that bad. I mean, she does say like bad things against people. This makes sense. She's Wednesday Addams, but she actually does show some useful times that she cares for the people that she's around. Like she makes sure if anybody's in trouble with her, she tells them, "Do not get them in trouble. It was all me. Don't get them expelled." She covers for them, and then she goes and sees the big kid whose ringtone is the Fly the Bumblebee. That is so hilarious. I laughed so hard when that happened. The hand is so funny during this thing. I like the fact that this hand gives people the bird all the time in this short. And so time in these episodes, and I like like one of the jokes saying five finger discount. That was funny. The guy who plays Uncle Fester for the one episode we saw him in, he did all right. He's not as good as Christopher Lloyd, but you don't get to see him this much in this show, so it's not really the fault of the actor. But I think he did a great job. It is hard to get Uncle Fester right because he is so he has to be funny, creepy, and stuff like that all at once. It's really hard to get him right. And so far, I would say out of all the Uncle Festers I've seen, he's probably the third one I like. I've never seen the original Uncle Fester, but I think out of the animated one, I'm trying to remember that one, the old one, not the new animated one, because there was one that I don't really remember that one that often because I think I only watched that one once and only watched some of the episodes. I think they only did like one season of that show. Um, that the guys who made Scooby Doo made a cartoon based off of more off the one that came from my show, my error. So, but this is really great. Um, and I did like that they actually we did get to see her roommate Esther turn into a werewolf on the last episode. I was like wondering, do we actually get to see her turn into one? And it takes her going and takes her seeing a blood moon turn her into one, and she actually beats up Tyler pretty good here. And um the the bully, I'm trying to remember her name because I only if I don't remember all the characters' names, don't get mad at me. But she does, if they first her and Wednesday first start as enemies. But to tell you the truth, I think the ones who were actually with the Pilgrim School actually did more wrong to Wednesday and her friends than her. To me, she's just a girl who's a siren that wants to that is having a problem with her mom and having a problem dealing with the powers just like anybody else going there. And to me, she is not like typical popular girls out in the world. I've seen worse, I've dealt with worse. So she is not as bad as people is saying her out to be, but don't ever believe that. Come with your own conclusion on things, guys. Just do that, like I have. So, and it looks. I think it looks perfect. Um, she's by the end of the storyline, her and Wednesday are actually somewhat good friends, and I think she's actually gonna maybe she will date um, Xavier instead of Tyler since her and Tyler actually end up on a sour note. So, and we'll see if she goes back to Nevermore. The principal's death was sad. Like it was a bit unexpected. Um, I did not, but I did like how she's a shapeshifter. How like whoever played her, either they made her look tall or she actually is tall. But the way they, only thing I would say is bad about this show is the CGI. But CGI is really hard to get down during the day, and a lot of times this monster was during the day. I would say that the werewolves look better than the hide. But so I'm gonna give this show a 9 out of 10. I loved it. It was great. I cannot wait if they do make a season 2, and they probably will. So, and maybe they'll bring in Cousin It and the Granny, because we only got like missions of the Granny and a portrait of Cousin It. So, I'll I'll see you guys later. Like, share, and subscribe, and so be cookie and be spooky and mysterious and ooky. Bye bye.